He's been teaching, but he hasn't gone through the regiment of being a qualified. Paper is just paper. You may say paper to make it sound negative, but before getting the paper, you are groomed, especially at deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how, I mean, what kinds of transformation you've made with this free teacher training?
Okay, the transformation is that, when people are not qualified, they don't come up to speak. When the ministry goes out there to do census, the man who is not qualified will not come up to be counted. So from the time we said free teacher training, we have received a huge number of teachers who are not trained, and they have confessed, yes, well, we are not trained, we want the training, So that is an impact, from the various communities.
Okay.
People are coming up saying we are not trained, we want the training. That's what is happening right now.
Okay.
But the thing is, when we say free teacher training, suppose we have 50 teachers in Riverside. We want to train them. We have to send the trainers there. The trainings are done on Saturdays.
Okay.
People who are already teaching, you teach from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday you go to the training. Okay, so we have to send a man who is going to train them by Friday, and then he's going to train on Saturday, and he comes out Monday. We have to defray that cost. Okay, and so what we are doing is that we are sending out letters to senators, to representatives, to well-meaning individuals to support those students. If there are 5 teachers in Riverside, you can support one teacher, 20,000 liberty, and you don't have to pay it up front. It takes you 10 months. We're going to give you 10 months up to the time, But what we did, we took a bold step. We know that to say free teacher training is bold, it is audacious, but it is efficient. So we took a trip to the United States, and we spoke with some of the diasporas, our county organizations,
Okay.
the Riverside people in America, the grandchildren people in America, Liverpool in America, and there was some level of success so far. We organized a group there. The group is coordinating our issues there, and we managed to get some support from the Riverside group. Okay, yeah. From Riverside group, we got support.
Why are you making specific reference to Riverside? Are you from Riverside?
I'm from Riverside, so I know how to talk to my people. I also got.
So Riverside is where you've made more impact.
Well, no, we've just started.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, made more impact. Well, I don't know. You keep saying.
I mean, focus. Okay, let me say focus.
No, we're not focused because we have 50 teachers in Lofa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Lofa group in the diaspora, they have 50. Riverside has only 30.
Oh, okay.
So
You're
when you say impact,
you're not gonna bias anyway.
No,
Okay.
no, it's where the support comes from. Riverside posted, okay, we'll give you support for 30 teachers. We'll come into 30.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, tell us, how does the training go? Like, I mean, what are the days you conduct the training?
Okay.
What is it that the teachers are being taught? And who are your facilitators?
Okay.
Where does the training take place?
Thank you. First of all, the training is done in clusters. Prior to the free teacher training vision, we are running cluster training at various places. We have a cluster right now ongoing in Barnersville,
Okay.
at the Linsu Public School. We have one in Tingles Village. We have one in Wood Camp. We had one in Bond County before, and those people graduated. So, as I said earlier, the teachers go to their classrooms from Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, they come to the clusters, group of schools in the Barnesville area that have unqualified teachers. We identify them. They come together on Saturdays.
Okay, so the training takes place every Saturday?
Yes, at various places in clusters.
Okay.
And then after 10 months, they graduate. We have master trainers. The trainers we have, they are people who were former teacher trainers at the TTIs. Some have, if you do not have an education degree, I don't take you as my trainer.
Okay.
One of my trainers have either first degree or second degree in education. So they go there on Saturdays and they train them in lesson planning, classroom management, testing and evaluation, school student counseling, and measuring intelligent quotient, all of that, a lot of pedagogical things.
Why aren't you engaged directly with the schools where these teachers are? Because at the end of the day, your knowledge impacted in the teachers goes to the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you not partnering with the schools themselves?
Well, we tried to partner with the schools. I know what you're talking about. For instance, we went to several principals and told them give us a list of people who are not qualified. The first thing is insecurity. He thinks that we are going to report him to the Ministry of Education. He has teachers.
No, but you training.
Yeah. Let me give you the story. But he knows that we are training. That's what I've told him. But he has suspicion that I may be divulging information that he has kept away from the ministry. Probably he's told the ministry that all of his teachers are trained. And now he's telling me he has 4 that are not trained. Insecurity, number one. The second thing is that the principals, some of them were very frank. They said, look, as soon as we train these people, they leave. If we pay for them to get trained, as soon as they acquire the certificate, the first thing, they become cantankerous because they are now trained. The second, they begin to demand more. They leave, they go to other schools.
Is that a report you get from schools?
Yes, now all of them that's why I said some of them, they are very frank. They say, as soon as I train this man, he gone.
But even if the teachers themselves come and pay personally their money, they get trained.
He can go, sure.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to train him and he leaves. Look, it has not only happened to the private schools, it has happened to government. Government has, over the years, trained a lot of teachers through the TTIs, KRTTIs, ZRTTI, all that. The problem is government did not have a deployment plan. You said put in all that money, millions, and you did train those people for 10 months. And when they graduate, they do not deploy them. So they were allowed to
But
find.
no one wants to go to the rural areas.
But that's where you were recruited from. And so as soon as he gets his certificate, a school here in Monrovia takes him. And you should not take him because he has rural teacher training skills and not urban teacher training skills. But there are no databases, there is no monitoring and evaluation. That's how the system is. So the guy gets a certificate from government sponsored, but at the end of the day, we say, hey, they're still teaching the same children in our school, the same sector. But government, has some negative impact on government's budget because the budget was given for the rural teachers. And now the guy gets a certificate and he stays in Monrovia, he doesn't want to go back.
How do you keep an eye on those that you train, evaluate their performances after their training, after their 10-month training, they go back? How do you evaluate these teachers' performances?
Well,
to see if you're making an impact.
well, we don't have a system
Of
because
monitoring.
because we don't feel we should monitor at that level.
Why?
The guy paid his money, he wants to teach, so he goes and he teaches. What we do,
If he misbehaves, it comes back to deep. You say he was trained by deep. Yeah.
We have a database, and we do. I don't want to give wrong information. I'm on the national radio. We don't have a particular monitoring where we say we know where all our students are. No, where our graduates are employed. No, but we have a database. We do sporadic checks, and some schools even come back and say, look, you train this man, he's very good, and that's all. But we don't have a system to say wherever they are employed, we go there and we find out. No, that has not been.
So how do you recruit your trainees?
Like I'm talking on the radio now.
On what basis?
Like I'm talking on the radio now, they are hearing me. They will come and get registered, number one. And the second thing is...
But how do you know that they have some fundamentals?
No, to recruit them...
Or they're in the classroom?
No, go from... We go from school to school. We go from school to school. As I said earlier, we ask the principals, do you have teachers here who are not qualified? And even we talk to some of the teachers, and the teachers, they know one another, they have their friends, and they come and they get registered and they attend. Yeah, that's the way we do recruitment. Sometimes we put out an announcement. We are a very small organization, striving, to make ends
Okay.
meet.
So as we speak, how many clusters ongoing?
Okay, I think we have 4 clusters ongoing now. We have the Bannersville, we have the Wood Camp, we have the Tingles Village, and we have the Bomb Mine cluster. Yeah, that's what we have now.
Okay, so let's come to teachers development and advocacy scheme. While is it under deep?
Okay, the teacher development and advocacy scheme. Okay, uh, you know, many of the teachers who graduated from the TTIs, they were not deployed. Schools were not available. If schools were available, government didn't have the money to place all of them in schools because government trained you, right? And government was supposed to place them in the various schools. And so they were not deployed. At one point, there was a protest that, look, we graduated, we have our certificates, we don't have any jobs, we left our families for 10 months, we went back, there are issues, and you trained or you have not deployed. That was a protest. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And so those teachers who do not have jobs that still have their certificates, we are calling upon them. Bring your certificates, bring your qualifications.
To do what?
So when we receive them, we are going to talk. There are a lot of schools around here who are looking for qualified teachers.
Okay.
And some teachers, they concoct the certificates. They duplicate it, they doctor certificates. They falsify certificates, and the principal doesn't know, he accepts them. And so we are saying, as an authority in education, we want to have a database with all the certificates. If you want teachers, come to us. Where do you live?
But do you have a detective mechanism put in place?
The certificates, the certificates, they have features. And we are not the only teacher training institute here. If you came from Lacose, I can talk to where you and say, look, this person said you graduated from Lacose. Is it true or not? Say yes, and I say, okay, I'm going to recommend you to this school. The school will tell me I need 4 teachers, I need 5. Then we will deploy them. That's a scheme.
So you okay? This hasn't been.
No, it's not in place. We want to be like a recruitment agency for teachers. And guess what? We're going to do it free. We're not asking the teachers to pay anything. If you have your certificate, you can find school. Or if you are working at a school, you have certificate, and they don't want to increase your salary as per the education law. That if you have a C certificate, you should make certain salary. If you are afraid to talk, we can talk for you. Mr. Principal, they may have certificate. But you see, you're not paying. And if you're not paying, it is affecting the students because he will do things that he's not supposed to do. That's where we come in.
Do you need any approval from the Ministry of Education to conduct deployment, recruitment, all of that?
Yes, we are working in partnership with the MOE.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
Have they given you their blessing?
yes, I've spoken with the Assistant Minister for Teacher Education. I've spoken with the Director of Teacher Education. I've spoken with the Assistant Minister for Basic and Secondary Education. And they've all embraced the program. As a matter of fact, they've decided that we should launch it formally. So they are on board
Okay.
because this is something that helps the sector. It is to stop the exploitation. To minimize the exploitation, to give teachers more confidence, to give them value. To bring back they are already valued, but to bring back their values that were lost because of their financial situations.
So currently you only focus right now on secondary education.
Primary.
Primary
Early
education.
childhood,
Okay.
primary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have plans of going maybe into the TVET, into STEM, and all of that?
We are into TVET already.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the Women Empowerment and Social Inclusion Project.
Okay.
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 Women Empowerment and Social Inclusion Project. So currently we are doing skills training. Uh, we have vulnerable women. We've done it before. We trained in 2019. We trained 50 vulnerable females with support from the Swedish government, the Swedish Foreign Department, and we trained them in tailoring. After the training, we gave them the machines, we gave them business skills, and they've organized themselves as businesses, and they are prospering, quote unquote prospering or surviving. Okay, so after that training, we received a lot of applications. So we now say, okay, we start again. We bring in pastry, tie and dye, tailoring, interior decoration.
Are you using the model you're using in um, uh, early childhood and primary
No,
education
no,
into TVET?
No,
Or
no,
you're
no.
changing
This
the
one,
model?
this one not for teachers. This one not for
It's
teachers.
for the students.
Yes, it's for the students, the vulnerable women.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you do with them? Do you
So,
recruit them?
those who do not have literacy skills, that's where we come in. We teach them to do your little writing, keep your little book, you do your little bookkeeping, check your money, and stuff like that.
How? What's the strength of your manpower?
I have, but numerically, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Well, we are not many. We should be like 11 staff members. I have 6 in the field.
Okay.
In
Is that enough to do what you want to do?
But we don't have money to pay to maintain people in the field.
So then why you want to expand into other programs when you don't have?
The TVET, the TVET has its own staff. If you talk about TVET, all the 3 areas,
Yeah.
they have staff. I didn't add that.
Okay.
Okay. If you add that, you have like 7 or 8 more. Okay.
But do you have like a place a training center?
We do in Jalatown. Before you get to right under the University Hill, the right side is the TVET. The left side, the upstairs building, is where we are with the teacher training. Yeah. We also do professional training.
Okay.
People who have degrees, first degrees, and they don't have specific skills. For instance, a man goes to university, he does business administration and management. Okay. So what is he specializing? Business administration. He doesn't have money to start a business. Manage. What is he going to manage? And so we provide special skills. And the guy who goes to teachers college, he, at the master's level, he's doing education administration and supervision. So what is he going to supervise? Is he available when he graduates? No. What is he going to manage? So in the interim, he needs some skills. So we are offering educational planning, whereby he becomes an educational planner, curriculum specialist.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And in specific areas. As a matter of fact, this Saturday we are graduating 23 people in educational planning. They're going to be educational planning specialists. 23 after 6 months of training. Okay, so by the time they graduate with their master's degree, they would have had some specializations. And the first class we had, people who attended those classes and graduated, they come back to us. They have jobs. I have a job with the NGO. I'm not a curriculum specialist. I'm not a supervisor. I'm this because of the training I did here. And I say, thank you. So that's where we are also intervening.
As a veteran educator, what's your own assessment of the education system?
The education system, it is staggering. It is staggering because of the huge number of unqualified teachers. People who are not trained, they go into the system. They don't have teaching ethics. That's the first thing. The second thing is government has not made good its commitment to education. According to the Ancient Declaration, that to which Liberia affixed its signature, every nation should surrender 25% of their budget. Not surrender, commit whatever software I want to use to education. So far, Liberia has gone like it was 14 before, and then there was some advocacy. I think it has gone to 16.
Yeah, that's improvement.
That's improvement, okay? And so
Because you have other competing priorities.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it will take time.
Yeah, yes, exactly. We understand.
Yeah, we take
The
time.
the third thing is that there's no compliance to the education law. When Honorable Otello Gonga was minister, he did a pretty good job. He crafted the education law. Any minister who takes over that ministry, if he goes by the education law, success, he will be very successful. But sometimes they don't go according to the law. For instance, the education law says education must be decentralized. You must have county school system and district
But
school system.
we do have.
It is not decentralized. It's not decentralized. The CEO or the county school system, they still report to the ministry. The ministry manages the budget.
Who should they report to?
It should be like the MCSS, the Monrovia Consolidated School System has a superintendent. He has his own budget. He recruits, he fires, he hires. The counties are not like that. They still have to come to the ministry. They are still under the umbrella. But you know what? Government doesn't have the money for that right now. You see, and if government had the money, we don't have the qualified staff. You see, I keep talking about qualification because if I didn't have the qualification I have, I wouldn't have the organization that's so prosperous. Yeah, people who are qualified to do education. That's the third thing. There are people in the education sector who are not educators. Okay, they go to do they enter other disciplines, and then they come when they cannot find job. They just come to education. Somebody like me, I'm passionate about it because that's my area. I went to Harvard University. I got a master's in education. I went to St. Joseph. I got a master's in education, mathematics education. I went to Yale, and so that's my area. You see people coming to my area where I have burned the midnight candle, and then just rearranging the place. I have to keep talking.
So how can we how can especially Deep work along with, but the thing is you're also making mistake by the fact that you're not working with schools, you're working with individual teachers. Now to tackle some of the issues you're talking about, you have to work along with administrations.
Exactly. That's what I said. There has, since we started, there has not been a school that submitted a huge number of teachers. The teachers themselves came. For instance,
But you're not encouraging them.
well, I don't know what encouragement would be, because you go and say, hey, we want
Maybe you need to you need to make this formal. Sign a partnership with schools administrations.
yeah.
And let it be holistic instead of, because as I sense it,
But how
Deep
do I-
is still commercializing what it wants to see improve.
So if we sign a partnership, we won't commercialize it. They will still pay us, right?
It's more professional than individual teachers going to them individually and training, because at the end of the day, the teachers will go back into the classrooms of these schools, and who benefits? The administration. If they are better, they're better for the schools. If they're not better, they're not better for the schools. So to formalize it, you work along with the administrations of these schools, sign a partnership, and get into training the teachers of these schools holistically instead of being selective.
I just told we're not selective. We're not selective, and we're not making mistake. I just told you that there are issues. You go to the principal. I told you.
I mean, it can change.
I
These
know.
issues, they can change. You can
But
solve them.
we have not stopped. We have not stopped engage in the schools. We even have a letter for the Meredith school system, the Catholic school system, and what's the other school system? The Salvation Army school system. They have schools, right? If we send them those letters, tell them that, look, all your teachers that are not certified, send them. And if they don't send, what kind of partnership? We not commit them because they have to pay. If they commit themselves, they have to pay. And they to even deduct from the teacher's salary, they say, oh no, you are doing it yourself. You got to put an lie, you know.
No, you
So
you don't care about where do they get the funding from. Your thing is you want to have this genuine partnership where you offer service and they know how they're gonna pay you back. Everything will be into the agreement.
who will know how to pay me back? Who?
The schools.
The schools are not willing. Where is the school to take the money from? They want to take it from the teachers' salaries. The schools. The schools are now willing, let me make it very clear. The schools are now willing to defray the cost of training for the teachers. And the teachers know that they are at risk, that the ministry can put them out anytime when they are caught. So they say, well, let me go take care of myself.
Okay.
And some of the reasons for which the schools do not want to pay, when a man gets qualified, his behavior changes. He gets qualified, he leaves. He's more marketable. He goes, he has 2-3 schools that don't teach at qualification. So, my brother, there are factors. We shouldn't look at it one way.
Okay.
We are trying. We want partnership. As a matter of fact, we want partnership with all of the schools so that we can just lay back our money coming to our account. We don't have to say, teacher, pay your money. You owing this or you owing that. That would be very fun for us. I mean, we wishing for that, we're praying for that to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so you have something here as a program called Anti-Human Trafficking Program. What is it all about?
Yes, the ministry has an issue with overage students. The annual school census 2019, 2020, that's my reliance. I am using data
Okay.
to sit here to talk because I know people out there in the MOE, they are listening as well. The data says that there's a huge number of people who are overage. The man is 17 years old, he's just in first grade, or let me bring it down a little bit, 10 years old, he just started APC. The statistics, it's very appalling. Okay. And we try to get to the root. Now, if you drove along the highway, how do they call it, Champion Highway? Okay, it used to be some minor drive.
Yeah.
You will see a lot of mechanic shops. Go in there. You see the little Mandingo boys, Mandingo Fulau. I don't want to be, ethnic, per se. Those little boys, they took them from Guinea. Maybe they told them that, look, we're carrying your children to Liberia to go to school. Then the guy is there. The little guy, I carried my car. I said, what the body wear, man? They showed me one late picking in Liberian English. The man just like maybe 7, 8 years old. I said, you can do this job? Yeah, I've been doing it. Where you coming from? Come from Guinea. And it's all over the place. And then look in the street. Children are selling. They can't get in school. Okay? So they take some of them from the interior and lie to the parents and they bring them here and they do different things. So that's human trafficking right away. You take the child, you say you are bringing the child for one purpose and you are using the child for commercial purpose. So what we want to do is we're going to do a research.
Okay.
We're going to do a research to know to what extent human trafficking is going on in Liberia. And then we'll give the research to the relevant authorities.
The fundings.
Yes, sorry, the findings, and they will take action. I'm a research person, I know what to do. We'll interview those children, and the government will, maybe come in later. Well, what we're trying to do, look, we're trying to help government. That's why I said this is not a political thing, it's not CDC thing, it's not UPP, it's not EP, it's not anything, it's about the country. We can sit on the fence and maybe criticize or be critical, and then say, well, what can you do when you were there? What education you see you got? What did you do?
Okay, so you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. I have with me Mr. Moses Blokan J. Jackson. He's the founder, CEO of DEEP, that's the Diversified Educators Empowerment Program. Very shortly, we'll open the lines. So before we go to to the land, Mr. Jackson. What I mean, as we stand, when do you intend to? I know the free teacher training is already in progress. When do you intend to get the other programs, rolled out?
Okay, the professional training, the Professional Development Institute of Deep,
Okay.
the one that trains the people with the graduate degrees, the bachelor degree, it has already started.
Okay.
It started like 3 years ago. This Saturday we are having a graduation of 23 professionals in educational planning. So if someone has a school or you want to start a school, don't make it notional. We are training people who can help you sit down, do your forecasting, how many students you intend to have, you propose how many teachers, what will be the salary, and what will be the income, and what will be your profit, and your policy, student policy, uniform policy, absenteeism, and all of that. So we have trained people.
So that
to
is
do that.
already
Yes,
ongoing.
yes. Saturday we're having a graduation. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the other programs? When do you have? When do you
The,
intend to get it started?
the human trafficking research, we have done the paper, we've done the 3 chapters.
Okay.
Research has the first 3 chapters, And so we will get the, the data collectors, the people who are going to fill and answer questions. Now it has to be very, I want to say surreptitious. I don't want to use that hard word, but you got to do it quietly. You go to the garage, you interview the labor, the man will say, no, don't talk. So this is very delicate. So it will start this year.
Okay.
All of these programs
Okay.
will start before December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to be a part of the program, you can call us on 0880514-096, 0880514-096, or 07705818886, 07705818886, and be live on the Super Morning Show this morning. We're speaking with Mr. Moses Jackson. He's the CEO of Deep Liberia. Let's hear from this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, what's your name?
I'm Joseph Kisau, calling from Ambagwe.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me thank the girl in the studio there. I'm very interested in what you say.
Are you a teacher?
Yeah, I've been teaching for 10 years now. I've
Okay.
taught from 2009. Yeah, from 1999 to 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm still interested, but I haven't really have a certificate in C or whatsoever. But we have some training workshop. I'm attending some training for some time. So this coming one now, I already want to be part. I wish to call his number when it's finished, and then we can get in contact with him.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's hear.
For the effort and apply, it's a very good effort.
Sure. Thank you. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Or from the Portland Road.
Let's hear you.
Thank you. I want to thank the student guests there. Yeah, very good initiative. That have been the down dream of our educational sector in Liberia, wherein the national or central government are not taking the lead to go down to what is bringing setback or the low improvement of our sector. Some of it in dream. Applaud this organization so much. I think people are in Bonk and they have benefited, and I would just want to thank them, and then they should improve on it. Like what he just laid down, especially the child trafficking strategy, where people bring children from the interior or from elsewhere and use them in different forms. And it initiated that individual come for the training. I had it, and just if the school is not good, but that's a very good reason, which I agree. But individual come and be trained, you are marketable, you can move anywhere, you can make your living. And then the cost of it also is what really impressed me. Because if you pay $4,000 a whole month and then get a training, and the next month 4,000, go 10 months, then 10,000, the name is big, or 40,000, or if you pay 4,000 a month, it's all right. So I want to thank them so much. They should do more, and I wish that those who are listening, they got a reputable hand to support or self-initiated to join them as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, GFBC Radio.
What's the name?
I'm Alex, calling you from Fino, to be precise, Pansada District.
Let's hear you. Are you a teacher?
When I'm not a teacher, but I got kids that are going to school.
Okay.
So I first want to tell GFBC Radio thank you, and also thank the studio guys this morning. My concerns do also to private school. The government has the possibility of supervising and the public school, and also the public school also paying taxes to the government. So what plan, according to what also about I doing there, what are show to say the government school have qualified teacher also? Thank you very much. That's my concern.
Okay. Well, he's concerned about government schools having qualified teachers. We can take a few more calls. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, what's the name?
Jacob Sedishibo.
Okay.
Okay, I called in to comment on Mr. Jackson for the work done ever so much in my area in purchasing the effort of the Liberian government vis-a-vis the Ministry of Education in training our teachers to be qualified and were competent teachers. Mr. Jackson has been in the city as well and taking on more projects, and we want to join him to call on our Liberian teachers, those in the field of teaching who do not have the credentials to take advantage of this program because it's very, very much important. And as we speak now, we understand that people are being developed to lack the teaching profession, that those who do not have teaching certificate or who do not have teacher education cannot be part of the classroom.
Okay.
So we want to encourage everybody who is in the classroom right now, even if you have another degree in another discipline, please take advantage of this program and have at least a certificate to purchase your people's work. And we have qualified and competent teachers in our classroom in the Liberia education system can go to the free world for us. I want to thank you, Mr. Jackson, and thank you for speaking today.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, what's the name?
Kepler, I joined for Rehab Zubata.
Let's hear you, Kepler.
Thank to the studio guests and for the level development in the education sectors and trying to push forward in Liberia. But the judge has him try to hold him against the wall. Why he can't talk with school administrators to bring up their teachers. At those schools, there are some schools in the Republic of Liberia don't even make the big school yet. So they enjoy the courage of paying teachers low salary. Even take them yet, they won't mind because they have not extended of having an institution. So the only thing I would recommend that the teachers should take initiative to get the qualified certificates that they can even just imagine that they will leave that school and go to another school and teach well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I think we can take two more calls and go back to Mr. Jackson right here on the Super Morning Show. So callers, let's hear from this caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Please leave from the radio. Yeah, you okay now?
I'm Reverend Solomon Ricardo Pijlaka, Senior.
Go ahead.
Let me use this
Please.
opportunity to extend my heartiest thanks and appreciation to Honorable Moses Jackson for his job well done by educating the teachers that codify that in the field of education. He's one of those that are really making impact to buttress government efforts. So I want to applaud him for his job well done. And again, let me see this opportunity to call on all teachers that do not have the qualification that are in the classroom to take advantage of this empowerment project. The Diversify Teachers Empowerment Project is very good. This, through the grace of God, when we all are educated and teachers are educated, definitely we will move our country forward. So once again, thank you, Honorable Jackson, for your job well done. May God bless you.
Okay. We can take one more call and go back to Mr. Jackson. Call us on 0880-514-096. Let's hear from this caller here. Morning. 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 What's it? Yeah?
Thank you for the show, and let me say thank you to the guest in studio.
Okay, what's your name?
This is Matthew. They are calling from Sino County.
Let's hear you, Matthew.
Yeah, we want to appreciate him, and I think it will be prudent for him to ask the Ministry of Education, the government of Liberia, to assist supporting this kind of idea. Why he's saying, actually, we all know that one of the problems is the issue of monitoring and evaluation. But in almost every part of our country, even our teachers are in school, especially now the government schools, the public schools. You will say the fees on the book are 5,000, 2,000, but even the pamphlet that the children pay on a weekly basis, they more than even 15,000 before the year ends. So parents are paying. Meaning, education is not really putting the fees down to monitor. Even some of the students are under pressure. When they report some of these things, they are ventilating. When you go to the education, I mean the teaching guideline, it does not offer that. Every day, teacher looking pamphlet in classroom, teacher asking for this amount, teacher asking for that one. It creates a serious problem for our education system. So it is prudent for him to ask government. We see government officials, we see public and officers, you see how money around here. I think that some of those money may go to those areas that these guys can get better off. And create local and pilot program in all of these counties. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. You've listened to the concerns. You can just address them.
Okay, thank you. I will look at the last one about asking government. Yes, we have been asking government, and government has agreed. I mean, when I say ask government, I've not gone to call the whole government to a meeting before, but when I was in the States and I launched the free teacher training in Minnesota and Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, as Minister Honorable Vani Sirleaf, he was present at the launching, and he spoke, and he gave me assurance that since the counties are under him, he was going to support this program. And he even pledged to defray the cost of training 75 teachers.
Okay.
5 in each county, 5 times 15, 75. And that's 11,000 United States dollars. He said, yes, I will pay that, but I will pay it incrementally. I said, thank you, sir. The fact that you've committed is encouraging. And also the superintendent of Grand Bassa County, he was present at that launching in the States, in Philadelphia. Janje Bakwe. He even paid upfront $150 for a teacher in Riverside. He's from Grand Bassa now. But he said he is the chairperson of the Superintendent's Council. And when he got to Liberia, he was going to call a meeting. He was going to encourage the colleagues to take over this kind of program. They have development funds. He named a lot of ways that they could do it. And so then I came and talked to the assistant ministers. So I've spoken with government. Okay. I don't have to go to Judge President Weah or to his ministers, but the people who are involved, I've spoken with them. So yes, I've talked to government. Somebody also talked about the government schools, and you know, it doesn't sound uh, normal for us to have unqualified teachers in government schools, because government should not be employing unqualified teachers, because they are the lawmakers. They are making the laws for the schools. Unfortunately, there are so many teachers on government payroll who are not qualified. How did it happen? For instance, across the river in Riverside County, in the town, all the way, in Maryland, places like Barabo, all the way behind there. If there is a school, it is very hard to get somebody from here who has a bachelor degree in education from a river to go and live over there. He has a family, he can't go there. So the guy who is there, the guy only did high school, the community opens a school and he's teaching. And he has been teaching, but he's unqualified. And he wants to leave. So keeping there, government say, you know what? Okay, don't go. If you go, the children will scatter. So just stay here, we'll put you on the payroll. So he gets on the payroll. And so what government did 2 years ago, they recruited DEEP, my organization. They sent out to the 6 counties, and they brought out 200 of those people. And we trained them, and we certified them. The others are there. Government will also come back to us.
Do you give C certificate?
We do.
And it's
Approved.
recognized?
Approved, recognized by the MOE.
Okay.
DEEP is a regular partner of the MOE when it comes to curriculum development, the current curriculum, the competence-based curriculum that is being used in the Republic of Liberia. I was a consultant who facilitated the construction. So the ministry has explicit confidence in us. The Center for Accreditation and Certification for Teachers, that committee, I am on that committee. We've been working. We completed it. It's now up to validation. So our higher organization will not trust it. Using all my expertise, the development of the students, the white students, they had this Saturday school. That curriculum, I facilitated the construction. It's not pro bono. I don't charge. I go as a minister, I'm here. Minister Soli knows me. Felicia Tosuma, she knows me. The teacher education man, Kefla. I say I'm here. They say pro bono man. I say yes, I'm here, and I do it really. I don't charge the contract, contract agreement or that. I do it because I know I have an organization, and I want them to have some give my organization priority, to have confidence in my organization.
So, Mr. Jackson, in the next 3, 4, 5 years from now, how do you want to see the education system?
Okay, this free teacher training program is not perpetual. It's up to 2014. It's a pilot. It's up to 2024.
Okay.
Right after elections, it's going to cease.
Okay.
Okay, because it is strenuous. We have a lot to do, and so that is why we're not just rolling it out. We are going to be very strategic. For instance, after the 50 teachers in Riverside, we're not taking some more. Yeah, the 50 in Monserrato, we have rated all of the representatives who do by district. All of the districts will not have the same number. So if somebody comes out and says, I will pay for 5 teachers, 20,000 per teacher instead of 40, and if the district does not raise the money, we cannot take everybody. Okay, so it's going to be like Lufa. After that 50, we're going to wait and see who in Lufa will, So 5 years from now, we want to see the rate of unqualified teachers, or the number, decreased.
Okay.
We want to see the next school census will say, unqualified teacher, the percentage has decreased. That's what we want to do, because I maintain that when teachers are trained in the system will improve. You can put in all the things you want to put in. You have ministers going to conferences, cars moving up around, motorcycles. The ultimate goal of education is for a child to become educated. One child. But if the teacher cannot teach that child, then that goal has been lost.
Okay, what a way to end there, Mr. Jackson. But I thank you so much for being on the Super Morning Show this morning.
You're welcome.
Well, he's Mr. Moses Blokanji Jackson. He's the founder, CEO of DEEP, that's the Diversified Educators Empowerment Project. He's been my guest on the Super Morning